How's it going, everyone? So today I'm going to talk about how to lose weight from thighs and your hips. So as you guys can see right now, my quads are very fucking developed. Lots and lots of years of squatting, you guys. So I can really help you guys talking about thigh and hip fat, because before, you guys, I used to have a lot of thigh fat too and hip fat. And I believe for me, naturally, that's where most of my fat goes to: legs, thighs, maybe my back just a little bit, but I can really give you guys tips. So starting off, the number one tip that I could possibly give you for all you beginners out there, the number one tip, this is pretty common, pretty basic, but you got to lose weight. If you are 5'9", 5'10", and you're around 200 pounds and you have thigh fat, you get down to about 170 pounds, I guarantee you 75 to 80% of that thigh fat is going to be gone day, you guys. Majority of it will be gone day. Now, you can't just lose weight you can't just do that. That's not going to get rid of all of it, but that will get rid of basically most of it, you guys, but there are some other tips as well. So I will go over my workout too as I'm talking through this video, just to make it a little more exciting for all the people who don't really want to hear about this. Maybe they just want to hear about my workout. So I'm doing 245-pound high bar box squats. I'm using a bench, but whatever, it's box squats. Pretty well at parallel, maybe just a teensy weensy bit high, whatever, you guys. The main key for this is to develop the living shit out of my quads. When I was doing high bar paw squats, I've noticed that my starting strength of the whole is absolutely insane, but it was working a lot of my glutes. I want my quads, you guys. That's the key. Build up those quads, since I am doing bodybuilding again, but I know sometime in the future I will be doing powerlifting again, probably. So, could be a couple of years down the road, could be 4 years, whatever, but someday I probably will go back to it. It's very important that I keep on squatting, you guys, very important. And this is a hard exercise, you guys. This is tough for me to do, and it's only 245, but I do 10 reps, 8 reps, then 8 reps. Going back to talking about how to lose weight from your thighs and hips, if you're doing any exercises in particular, let's say glutes, hamstrings, I would say avoid those exercises. You can still train, but I wouldn't be really killing your hamstrings or your glutes. The reason being is that that will put a ton of mass on your backside, you guys. So it will appear to make you guys look, I don't know, unesthetic, to be honest. So if you guys are trying to get rid of that thigh fat and the hip fat, don't keep doing more hip exercises. Do not do that. Lay off the hip exercises. Really start to attack your quads, because I guarantee you your quads are probably very weak like mine were. And once you start hitting that, your quads, it'll start to bring just an overall better shape to your muscles, and overall it'll just make you look better, you guys. If all your muscle is in your glutes and your hamstrings, like for me it was, then you're not going to look good. A lot of looking good is getting the illusion, or making an illusion that you actually do look good. So that's how we can kind of do that, by adding quad muscle. So as well as adding quad muscle too, that will get rid of most of your thigh fat, and it will start adding new muscle. But again, if you're trying to get rid of hip fat, I am too as well. Don't do a ton of hip exercises. Do one. Make sure you still strengthen your hips. You can still strengthen your hamstrings. Glutes, I really wouldn't do any direct work. That's just my opinion on it. Again, if you're doing powerlifting, you can. I would recommend it if you are doing powerlifting. But again, if you're just trying to get rid of that thigh and hip fat, then do not do any direct work for your glutes. So now some of you are probably thinking now, so what exercises do I do to develop the quads? Hands down, squat. Make sure you guys are doing the squat. What you guys can do is what I am doing in the video right now. Box squat. Get it so it's around parallel. It could be a little bit higher, but try to really make sure that it's around parallel, and really make sure you guys are pushing up with your quads. I find that when people do free squatting, which, I mean, if you're doing powerlifting, if you're an athlete, you're going to have to do free squatting. But if you're trying to build up your quads, if you're just trying to get stronger, even if you're an athlete, box squatting is fine. But just really understand that when you're box squatting, it's an amazing exercise just because it really makes you focus hard on using your quads. If you're doing a free weight squat, I know for me anyways, I could shift my mechanics so that I could put my hips farther back and I would use more hips and glutes. And more glutes and hamstrings. I mean, I could go a little bit deeper, and then when I pop out of the hole, again, I'm using hips, hamstrings, and then at the very last minute, I'd use a little glutes, or a little quads, I mean. So, yeah, I was pause squatting. I could pause squat probably around 405 pounds. The last time I tried, I think I did 375, 385, but the way I was progressing was extremely good. I was pausing very deep. You can look at my old videos, and yeah, it didn't do it. It did help my quads up, but it more helped out my glutes, to be honest. So squatting deep is not the answer if you guys want to get jacked quads. In my opinion, box squatting, like what I am doing, puts a a fuck ton of emphasis on your quads. Because believe it or not, there have been studies done that when you squat to parallel, majority of the muscles being used is going to be your quads. The minute you go below parallel and squat ATG, the more it's going to be using your glutes. So you want a big ass, which is very unaesthetic. You can get a little bit of one, but if you're not a girl, you're a guy and you're squatting deep, then just keep in mind that your ass is going to be very developed. And again, that's going to take away. If you're trying to lose weight from your thighs, your hips, if you start adding a massive ass, that's not going to look good at all, you guys. So again, getting back to it, how to lose thigh and hip fat. Again, number one, you got to lose a ton of weight. If you're 200 pounds right now, slowly start cutting. Lose 1 pound each week, I would say. Maybe 2 pounds if you can. If you're 200 pounds, get down to 170 pounds. Take your time, you guys. Don't try to lose 10 pounds in 1 week. That will not work. So again, losing weight. The second area is really focus on your quads. Guaranteed 99% of people out there who have fat thighs and fat hips, their quads are not very good. So attack your quads. Use the box squat high bar that will really develop your quads. Use a leg press. Do that for maybe 4 to 5 months. After that, you guys can switch exercises. You can do leg extensions and then front squat on a box, and that will just change up the exercise variation, allow you guys to keep on progressing as well. So that is my recommendations to lose weight from your thighs and hips, and I have personally done this as well, you guys. I used to have a ton of fat on my glutes, my hips, and yeah, I got rid of that simply by doing these exercises, you guys. So if you guys have any other questions at all, comment below. I will answer them. That's about it for how to lose weight from your thighs and your hips. Again, I appreciate all the support you guys give me and everything. Really, really appreciate it. And I try to answer all the comments as well. So let's go back to the workout. So I did my high bar box squats, 245, set of 10, a set of 8, a set of 8. So 3 total sets. And you guys, my quads are on fire. That's the most I've ever felt my quads doing squats, which is kind of sad because I've done a lot of paused ATG squats. You guys can see in my vids. A lot of you guys were asking, how do you squat so deep? How do you squat so deep? It's just basically squatting straight down, sticking your hips back. But again, realize that the deeper you squat past parallel, the more you're using your glutes, the more developed your ass will get. And for me, I don't want that. I want bigger quads. Bigger quads is going to allow me to squat more weight when I go back to squatting high bar squat free weight. So yeah, that's the goal. Get a lot of quad muscle. So right now I'm doing leg press. I'm using 355 pounds, 167 pounds for the weight on the machine, and then 2 plates on each side, and then a 5-pound plate. So I see a lot of people, they put 4 or 5 plates on here, and what I see them do is they use a fuck ton of momentum. They use a ton of momentum. 2, they put their hands on their legs and they use their hands to push their legs. So that's extremely cheating, you guys. That's not good at all. And another thing is they do not go deep at all. It's a leg press, you guys. You guys should go all the way until it touches your chest. As for going up all the way, some people recommend, you shouldn't go all the way, lock your knees. I totally agree with that. In this video, you guys may see me do a few reps where I lock my knees out, so that's not good. I'm trying not to do that. I really don't leg press that often, so again, if you guys see me doing it, it's just a bad habit and I'll try to correct it. So you want to go about 90% of the way up. Really do a complete rep, but just make sure you don't fully lock your knees out like that. Just because you take the weight off your quads and then you put a lot of it on your knees, you guys. So make sure you're not doing that. And you guys, I don't do leg press that often. My quads are pretty decent. You guys have seen in the pictures, but doing high reps for legs, I am not very conditioned to do that. So I'm pretty gassed right now. I'm not going to lie. Pretty hard, you guys. I'm trying to take 1 minute rest periods in between each set. I know for the last set when I did my squatting, it was not a minute. It was probably like 2 minutes, maybe. Yeah, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. But I felt pretty bad, to be honest. Felt very winded. But once I start doing this more often, you guys, my conditioning is going to get a little bit better. Anytime you go from doing low reps to high reps, it's going to be a struggle, especially on legs. So let's just hope tomorrow. Let's hope tomorrow that my quads are not killing me and that I can walk down the stairs. So let's hope, you guys. I know a lot of people who do legs, they feel fine an hour after, maybe even 6 or 7 hours. They wake up the next day and they're like, oh my fuck, I can't even get out of bed. That's what I hate. But over time, your body will adapt to it. Again, going from low reps to high reps, my body is not used to that, so I may wake up with some sore legs. But yeah, again, what I'm doing for the leg press is first week, I'm only doing my legs once a week again, because you guys probably already know my legs are very developed. My upper body needs to catch up a little bit, I think. So once a week is fine. So I did 3 sets, 10 repetitions. Next week, I'm doing 3 sets of 8 repetitions. So I'm using 355 pounds. Next week, I'll probably use 375, 380. And week after that, 2 sets of 7 reps, so maybe 405 pounds. Then 2 sets of 5, that could be 425, 430 maybe. And yeah, linear periodization. After I do my leg press, I'm going to switch exercises, and I probably do leg extensions. Right now, I'm doing standing calf raises. The exercises you guys didn't see me do are the seated calf raise. I did that. I also did standing ab crunches as well. And seated leg curl. So I didn't film that, just to keep the workout short. But yeah, you guys, that's my workout. I did standing calf raises at the end, 100 pounds, 3 sets, 10 reps, and here are my legs, you guys, again. Very jacked. Peace!